We have an update on an AEW star after collapsing at AAA TripleMania. Plus, a WWE star could be moving into a backstage role, and a former Ring of Honor champion could be coming out of retirement next week. It's all of the wrestling news right now. So, some troubling video emerged over the weekend from AAA TripleMania that shows Vikingo backstage being helped onto a stretcher. Reports are that he collapsed after his match at TripleMania in Mexico City on the weekend. We have an update on Vikingo, don't we, Jack?
Yes, we do. A lot of the conversation surrounding this incident were as it is always in wrestling when something like this happens, was a lot of people saying, was this a shoot? Was this a work? Which of the two? PW insiders say, we've been asked if the passing out and stretcher job was some sort of sell job or work. That is possible, obviously, but no one they've spoken to, PW insider that is, have stated that it was. Vikingo was legitimately not feeling well going into the match last night. We are told that today Vikingo is fine and will not be missing any upcoming dates. Apparently he was dehydrated heading into the show and hadn't eaten enough, and it was just one of those things where he just didn't have enough energy and just collapsed, which is obviously very distressing, but at least it's not something long term, I suppose, that's going to keep him out for a long time.
No, all reports are saying that there shouldn't be any dates missed by Vikingo and he should be back.
Kind of reminds you though that how grueling a schedule wrestlers can have sometimes.
Yes, it really does, and it takes a toll physically and mentally and everything else. And yeah, and we send our best wishes to Vikingo, because it wasn't just Vikingo, actually, that had trouble around TripleMania weekend. We were set to see Brian Cage competing for the AAA Latin American Championship over the weekend as well. But he posted a video from hospital, which pretty much put paid to everything. What did he say, Jack?
Yes, he posted a video from the emergency room saying, I'm currently in the ER right now with inconsiderate patients playing their Instagram videos in the background on full volume. So he's still got a sense of humor.
Somebody playing It's So Easy by Guns N' Roses on someone's Instagram story. If you watch the last one, you'll know.
Yes. He went on to say, unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'll be making my flight or my scheduled match up for TripleMania this Saturday. I wish I was joking. I wish I was lying. I wish this was part of the plan, but unfortunately, it's not. And then in the caption, he reveals that thankfully it won't be a long absence from the ring and that he will be good to go next week, he reckons.
Well, he should be back on regularly scheduled programming from next week, should Brian Cage. One of these guys, we always bring up Brian Cage as a real, not shoulda, woulda, coulda, because his time's not done, but somebody who really could have, to this point, had more than he's had. Yeah. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, and there's been various promotions where it's looked like he's been about to get a push, and then it's kind of, for one reason or another, it just hasn't worked out that way. What I will say, though, I guess in a positive light, is that at the moment people seem to be enjoying his tag team with Big Bill.
Yeah.
And they had a good match with FTR recently, too.
They found a nice rhythm, those two.
By both being massive men.
It's a nice, easy faction to do.
Yeah.
You're just big men.
Yes.
And you just punch other men. Easy.
Absolutely.
If only WWE had treated the NWO with a more simplistic approach than that, it might not have been considered one of the failed angles of WWE. We go into that on the YouTube channel right now. The true story of NWO's failed WWE run is waiting for you. It's an incredible tale as well.
Shouts out to Justin for writing the script on that one. He's very good with the historic stuff.
Justin Henry from Off of America is a wrestling mind.
He is.
Unlike any other.
That was a good one to record, and do check it out. I think it's come out very nicely indeed.
Indeed. Quite a few of those names, including Shawn Michaels, now working back in WWE, despite how rubbish the NWO in WWE was. Somebody else potentially working behind the scenes in the forthcoming weeks.
Yes, and it's someone who's been linked to WWE a lot over the past many years. It's Nick Aldis. He shadowed P.T. Williams in producing the AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross match on SmackDown, while Robert Roode worked with Jamie Noble in producing some backstage segments and the United States title match. So that's very interesting. WWE possibly looking to bring new blood, I suppose, into a production role, which we don't. This to me feels like when I've gotten older, more of the footballers that I used to watch are now managers. This feels like that. The wrestlers are becoming the agents and they're going to try and impart their wisdom, I suppose.
And Nick Aldis, who we know has been courted by WWE for some time now, and this will be possibly the role that he ends up going into. But Robert Roode is the interesting one. Obviously, he hasn't wrestled for a good while now.
Yeah.
He had neck fusion surgery. There was a school of thought that he might pop up at SummerSlam since he was in the area, but it does feel like that maybe his next role, his next journey in WWE is going to be behind the scenes.
Yes, and to be fair, I enjoy that it's an avenue for wrestlers who maybe are struggling to come back from an injury, or maybe just it's made them realize they don't want to be a full-time wrestler anymore. It's a nice way. It happened with Jason Jordan, we saw as well. He suffered a sad injury which seemed to pretty much end his career, and now he's carved out a nice niche for himself as a producer backstage too. So I'm in favor of it. I think the more different wrestling minds you get, especially people as experienced as the likes of Rude and Aldis as well, then surely in theory that's going to enrich the product more. It's a melting pot.
It's a melting pot of things.
I was stirring the pot literally, and I punched the mic.
I'd say what will stir the pot. Obviously, Nick Aldis and Petey Williams producing that AJ Styles karrion cross match. Now, we have seen the clip from over the weekend from that match. It's done the rounds where I think where Styles goes for a moonsault into a move and Karrion Kross can't quite hold him, loses balance. It's a Botchamania classic without question. That wouldn't be down to Nick and Petey, just FYI. That's just a miscalculation by two professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious in any promotion.
Yes, of course.
They're both okay. I'm sad they missed a trick to WWE of not having Robert Roode shadowing Petey Williams, because you could have had a Team Canada reunion backstage.
Absolutely. And Eric Young somehow involved. Oh no, he's still in Impact. He's still what?
He's got his Impact, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still Impact. Yeah.
He can't come back.
No.
That'd have been a lovely picture backstage, but never mind. Talking of comebacks, don't call it a comeback. Well, we should call it a comeback because that's exactly what it is.
Possibly.
Possible comeback. Don't call it a possible comeback. Which former ROH champ could be back in the ring next week, Jack?
Right. So you may have heard that there's a show coming up in London, England.
Where's London?
It's a small mining town just outside of Newcastle.
Not Null.
And it's big show, innit? All in. It's a big one.
Big show's there.
It's no. Well,
big show going to be
fair, he might be. I don't know. But it's going to be a massive event. And if there was any Ring of Honor World Champion who would be fitting for this event, it would be Nigel McGinnis. Now, as Englishmen, we desperately want Nigel. I think I speak for both of us when I say we desperately want Nigel McGinnis to be able to return to this. Fightful Select have been asking around, and they say sources have confirmed to Fightful Select that Nigel McGinnis has been taking measures to try to return to the ring. So taking measures to try to return to the ring. So we're not saying he's definitely coming back or anything like that.
Definitely.
No. They say we've not been told definitively. What a sentence to follow. We've not been told definitively that McGinnis has been cleared for a return, but that he'd been taking measures that indicated he was considering a return to the ring. We can confirm that McGinnis was brought up in recent months as a possible competitor on the AEW All In card. However, we can't confirm if there are plans in order for him to wrestle or if it's been broached internally by All Elite Wrestling. But so you're telling me there's a chance? That's basically what's going on.
You're telling me
here.
there's a chance?
Yes. Oh, it would be nice.
It's been well over a decade since Desmond Wolfe wrestled.
Desmond Wolfe in Impact,
his last match was Desmond Wolfe in Impact. It was against Stevie Richards on TNA Explosion.
Wow, Stevie Richards?
I think that was his last match.
Wow, fair enough.
Serves. Which doesn't necessarily need to be a match. I think the one thing that we are hoping for from All In, as plucky Englishmen, is to have somebody from England do something exciting.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, Pac. Oh, he's injured.
Right.
Oh, Jamie Oh, she's injured.
Soraya's in the women's match.
Soraya's in the women's match. I feel like you could have had a Soraya one-on-one match.
Yes, I do as well.
Unless we're doing it to keep Soraya from overstretching. I don't know.
I think many of the big single stars in AEW could be in singles matches, Tony, but it's fine. I'm not going to weigh in on that debate or anything. It's fine.
It is. So obviously, Grado is in the conversation still.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes, please.
And maybe Nigel McGinnis. I don't know whether it would be an in-ring return full whack or whether he just punches Jeff
A little
Jarrett in the
moment,
face.
that would be great as well. For those who might be unaware, or a newer wrestling fan or a younger wrestling fan, Nigel McGinnis is one of the greats of English wrestling.
Oh my
He's one
gosh,
of the greatest wrestlers ever to come out of England, and went over to Ring of Honor, became Ring of Honor World Champion, had a legendary feud with Bryan Danielson as well, including a match in Liverpool where they had the infamous ring headbutt spot, ring post thing, which is terrifying, at the Olympia, yes. And then unfortunately he never quite could make. He almost went to WWE. I think health issues got in the way, and it was just a one of those great what if kind of scenarios. What if Nigel McGinnis had made it to WWE? But we could be seeing him at least get a moment here.
I think a moment would be nice, just to have him just wallop somebody and get a big pop from the crowd.
Absolutely.
That would be lovely. I think it should be Jeff Jarrett as well. I think get all the UK legends just lined up in the back and they all just punch Jeff Jarrett. I know he's my mate, but punch Jeff Jarrett.
He is your mate. You can't say that
He's
after
my
you
mate.
had tea with him.
Grado hits him.
Yeah.
McGinnis hits him.
Yeah.
We bring out Blue Kane.
The legends of English wrestling.
We bring out the Legend of Doom, who was the LOD UK tribute act from the late 90s.
UK Undertaker.
UK Undertaker. We bring him out. We bring out Benji. Bring out the Landed Gentry.
Yeah.
Get them out there.
Gangrel, he's a UK legend at this point.
Put him in as a UK legend. And Mr. Tumble.
Yes.
And Jack Grealish. Just to give him a kick. Hey, we'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. I love you. Bye.
And Chloe Kelly, England whip the Lionesses. Come on.
Of the Lionesses.